Somebody sent me a video, and this video was from Dante's Boxing Nation. And I haven't watched one of his videos in a while, and I usually don't click on videos like this because I'm a firm believer that you should go to channels that best suit you. Why go to channels when you know what narrative they push and it only angers you or pisses you off? And then you people send this stuff to me asking, say, hey, look at this, look at this. I usually don't watch videos like those, and I don't watch them when you send them to me. But this time, this video, I actually clicked on it. I was bored, so I clicked on it. And the video was about Tyson Fury during the press conference with Deontay Wilder was brought a water bottle. Tyson Fury asked, who did the water come from? And the guy pointed in the crowd. Tyson Fury looks, shaked his head and said, no, I'm good. Now, in the video, Dante goes on to say that, you remember the part where Wilder said he felt drugged. Isn't it mighty suspicious that Tyson Fury will not accept a water bottle if it doesn't come from the right person? Now, when people send me this, I kind of think you guys are trying to test me. You're trying to see how I will come at it and if I will be honest or unbiased about it. So that's why I jumped at the opportunity to do this video, because I kind of know why it was sent to me, you know. And with that being said, you want to know my thoughts on it, and this is my thoughts on it. The clip is what it is. Is it suspicious that Tyson Fury turned down drinking a water bottle once he found out who it was coming from? If you want to put it that way, yes. But you can't blame Tyson Fury for being up on game. You can't. The clip is exactly what it is. You can run with it however you want to run with it. Okay. Now, what do I really mean by that? Meaning that boxing is one, if not the dirtiest sport in all of sports. Water bottles, PEDs, judges, and referees is nothing new. All this stuff is old. It might be new to the boxing fan, or it might be new to the fanboy. But as far as insiders, trainers, coaches that really know, all these tactics are old. You could date that back to when they blinded Muhammad Ali by rubbing a solution on another boxing's glove to get it in his eye. This stuff is old. These tactics are nothing new. Okay? What I mean by you can't blame Tyson Fury for being up on game and being aware, it's the same thing I say for Deontay Wilder and his corner. His team is insufficient. Deontay Wilder should at least have somebody on his team who is aware of all these old dirty tactics and tricks when it comes to boxing. You would be a fool to have somebody on your team who doesn't know, because all this stuff goes on in boxing. Did you see Oscar Valdez just fail a drug test and then just go in there and get his ass whooped on PEDs and still win a fight, and the fight still went on and nothing was done about it? You got to learn to read the signals. All right. So this cheating stuff is nothing new. It's nothing new at all. Now, Tyson Fury is just aware, like Deontay Wilder's team should have been aware, instead of having clowns on your team like JD's. But I'm going to digress on that. The biggest thing is this. When I look at this is how I feel about when people point out cheating and stuff like this. If you cannot call it out across the board for every fighter, then you probably need to shut the fuck up. What do I mean by that? Meaning, don't call cheating out just when it's done to your favorite fighter, or you see a fighter that you hate doing it. You should be able to call cheating out when it's your favorite fighter and when it's not your favorite fighter. When it's somebody that you cheer for and when it's somebody you not cheer for. Okay? You can't just call cheating out when it either happens to your favorite fighter or you see one fighter that you don't like is doing it. Then all of a sudden, everybody's an expert, everybody's a genius, and everybody got eagle eyes. Let me give you an example. A lot of people are talking about rabbit punches in the Tyson Fury 3 fight. getting hit on the side of the head. Yes, I seen Tyson Fury hit Deontay Wilder on the side of the head. Do you want to call that rabbit punching? Sure. I'll agree with you. No problem. It is what it is. He did get hit with some rabbit punches. Is that illegal? Sure. Yes, it is. I agree with you. Okay. Now, this is where things go south. See, I can agree with you, but watch when I bring up this. Do you guys remember the Luis Ortiz fight? Deontay Wilder? Do you know how many times Luis Ortiz was hit with rabbit punches and illegal blows? That fight, Deontay Wilder should have been disqualified alone for hitting Luis Ortiz in the back of the head so many damn times and getting slapped with his wrist on the side of his head so many times. I done a video about it and I put it up on YouTube. It got taken down quick as I put it up. Okay? And it was so many rabbit punches and illegal punches in that fight. It was fucking ridiculous. When I was editing the video, I was like, my God. You know? But when I bring that up, the same Wilder fan or supporter that talks about rabbit punches with Tyson Fury, once I point out the Luis Ortiz fight, guess what? They go plumb dumb. They don't know what I'm talking about no more. All right? Let me give you another example. People talk about the long count in the third fight. And yes, if you want to say that was longer than the 10 count, I'll agree with you. I have no problem with that. You know, yeah, it was. Now, if I turn around and bring up once again the Luis Ortiz fight, when the ref bought Deontay Wilder extra time to get his legs back under him, when he could have called the doctor to come and look at Deontay Wilder while he was sitting in the corner. You don't wait till he get up off the stool and you figure out Wilder's not all the way there yet because Luis Ortiz was on the verge of knocking him out. And then you call the ref to come look at Deontay Wilder, which bought him more time, which saved him in that fight. Now, if I bring that up, guess what? People who talk about the long count with Tyson Fury don't know what I'm talking about. So that's why I say if you want to talk about cheating, you have to call out cheating all the way across the board. And this is where most people have a problem with me. The same thing you love me for is the same thing people hate me for. The exact same thing. See, you depend on me to be truthful when it's the fighter that you hate, but you want me to shut the fuck up when it's the fighter you love. I don't play those games. I call things out not as a boxing fan, not as a fanboy, and not as a hater. I call things as I see it, as a man. Forget a boxing fan. As a man, I can look at a situation and assess it and tell you what I think and make the best sound decision based on the evidence and what my eyes and ears see and hear. That's what I base it off of. And with that being said, people need to live their life according to two rules. And these two rules is I live by. I live my life by the rule of boxing and chess. That is, protect yourself at all times and make your next move your best move. You live by these two things, a life will be a lot easier. Protect yourself at all times, meaning at all times, financially, physically, emotionally. Every form of self-defense and protecting yourself, you take. Protect yourself at all times. Make your next move your best move. Every move you make is a calculated step either to your doom or your success. So make your next move your best move. You are responsible for you at the end of the day. Okay? And it's good if you have a team around you who's aware of what's going on, but it's your responsibility to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with that kind of team. This is why when we talk about this whole water bottle thing, if you want to call it suspicious, yes, it is. But if you ask me, it's just being up on game. Now, we could talk about cheating till the cows come home. You know, Tony Harrison just talked about Jamel Charlo using that Gatorade bottle, and all of a sudden he comes out and got extra energy. Okay? We just seen Oscar Valdez fail a drug test, get his ass whooped in the fight, rob the guy, win the fight, and the fight still took place, and he tested positive, and nothing happened. This is the most dirtiest sport out there. But if you want to start to chip at the corruption, you must first start by evening the playing field by making sure there's no exceptions to cheating, regardless if you hate this fighter or you fanboy for this fighter. If you cannot call it out and you just want to call it out when it favors you, nothing will get done about it. You remember when I told you guys nothing will come of Glovegate? You remember why I told you why? Because if you talked about this and if you uncover this, you're going to have to uncover that, then the whole thing comes undone. This is why Deontay Wilder can be so vocal about it, yet when he has the biggest stage and the biggest platform to speak about it and bring awareness, he is silent. Because he's aware what he's doing is taboo. The same thing that Caleb Plant is doing. Okay? These guys can take career hits for exposing PEDs, drug use, and cheating in boxing. That's why a lot of people deal with it and remain silent. A lot of people know that a lot of stuff that Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder have said is true. They can't say anything about it. Why? Because they probably have taken place in cheating their damn self. And if they were to stand with you and say, yes, this person is cheating, oh, then somebody's going to find some evidence on him. Well, wasn't you cheating in this fight? What went on with you in this? And then one finger's going to point over here. These two fingers going to point over there. And then everybody's going to be pointing at each other. And then we're all going to figure out y'all all are cheating in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That's the truth of boxing. Okay? So until you are ready to stand in the pit and call out everybody, it makes no sense to select who you want to expose when they do cheat. Cheating shouldn't happen, period. It should not be acceptable because you want to see this fighter lose. Or you want to see this fighter win. It should not be acceptable. But yet, when I call these things out, I'm a hater over here. I dislike Mexicans over here. I dislike American black fighters over here. I'm hating on the white boy in boxing. I don't like the Filipino. I did all this other accusations other than people. Everybody say everything other than, you know what? Bruce just calling it how he sees it. He has no dog in either race. As a man, he's just calling it how he sees it. This is why when people say they want unbiased boxing talk, I'm one of the first and the only people that told you that that's not true. Everybody wants you to be biased because it's only when you're truly unbiased you get a result like I do. This is why I can have a problem with this fan base over here, have a problem with that fan base over here. And on any given day, that fan base is saying for the other fan base. And then on the next day, the other fan base do the same thing to me. I actually fit in nowhere because as a man, I choose to call it how I see it. You can't say, oh, he's pro Canelo. You can't say I'm pro Joshua. You can't say I'm pro Mayweather. You can't say I'm pro this year. I'm pro boxing. I'm going to call it like I see it. So if this whole water bottle thing bothers you, you should have been bothered all the other times when you see other fighters do things that is not up to par, or when you see your fighter cheating or whatever and whatnot. Now, the other interesting thing is he used Robert Garcia to basically try to confirm that Deontay Wilder was drugged. Once again, this is what I tell you about being fair across the board. I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Garcia knew something like that, because didn't he try to cheat with Maidana in the Floyd fight with those gloves? Exactly. Yes, he did. So even the person who's telling you, yeah, that I believe that Wilder was drugged has done some dirty shit his damn self. So until we are ready to recognize everybody, this problem goes nowhere and it stays in boxing. Bruce Vane, I'm out.